The cup slipped from Lena's hands, shattering on the floor. Coffee splashed, and her hand cut painfully on the porcelain. She froze, heart pounding, and then he looked at her. One gaze from him, and everything she thought she knew about her life changed. Hello friends. Welcome to Afro-Korean Chronicles. We're so glad you're here. Grab a seat, because today's story is full of suspense, drama, and twists you won't see coming. The cup shattered before Lena Moore could even scream. Hot coffee splashed across the tiled floor, porcelain exploding at her feet as the tray slipped from her shaking hands. The sound cut through the bakery like a gunshot. Conversations died instantly. The bell above the door rattled from the echo. I'm sorry, Lena blurted out, already dropping to her knees. I'll clean it up, I'm so sorry. Are you blind? Mrs. Calder's voice cracked like a whip from behind the counter. Do you know how much that cup costs? Lena's fingers closed around a shard before she could stop herself. Pain sliced through her palm. She gasped. Blood welled up instantly, bright and shocking against her pale skin, dripping onto the floor and mixing with coffee. Someone cursed under their breath. A chair scraped. Lena froze, staring at her hand like it didn't belong to her. Get up, Mrs. Calder snapped. You're bleeding on the floor. Useless girl. I'll clean it, Lena whispered, swallowing hard. Please. Her knees trembled as she reached again, slower this time, careful, but a shadow fell over her. Someone stood. The man at table 9. He'd been there since morning, sitting alone by the window while the rain hammered the glass for hours. Lena had noticed him without meaning to. Everyone noticed him. He didn't touch his coffee. Didn't look at his phone. Just sat still as stone, dressed in black so sharp it didn't belong in a place like this. Now he was standing. Don't move, he said. His voice wasn't loud. He didn't raise it. But the entire bakery went silent. Lena looked up. He was tall. Taller than she'd thought. His suit was immaculate, not a single crease, his dark hair combed back neatly. His eyes, cold, dark, were locked on her hand. Blood slid down her wrist. You're hurt, he said. I'm fine, Lena lied automatically, pulling her hand toward her chest. It's nothing. Sit, he repeated. Mrs. Calder scoffed. Sir, she's an employee. I'll handle it. No, he said, turning his head slightly. You won't. Something in his tone made Mrs. Calder stop mid-sentence. 2 men stepped forward from behind him. Lena hadn't even noticed them rise. They stood on either side of the man now, silent, watchful. The air in the bakery felt heavier. The man crouched in front of Lena, close enough that she could smell clean leather and something sharper beneath it. Give me your hand, he said. I can't, Lena whispered. I'll get in trouble. His eyes flicked to Mrs. Calder. You already are, he said calmly. He took Lena's wrist gently but firmly, turning her palm upward. The cut was deeper than she'd thought. Blood smeared his fingers. First aid kit, he said without looking up. There isn't one, Mrs. Calder stammered. She should have been more careful. The man finally stood. He faced Mrs. Calder fully now, his expression unreadable. You run this bakery, he said. Yes, she replied, defensive. And she broke company property. You employ an 18-year-old girl for 12 hours a day, he interrupted. With no medical supplies. No breaks. No protection. Lena's heart pounded. How did he know her age? Mrs. Calder laughed nervously. That's none of your business. The man pulled out his phone. He made one call. I'm at Calder's Bakehouse, he said. Terminate the lease. Effective immediately. Pay severance to the staff. Exclude the owner. He hung up. Mrs. Calder's face drained of color. You can't. You're done, he said flatly. Pack your things. The bakery erupted into whispers. Lena stared up at him, shock crashing over fear. Sir, you didn't have to do that. I know, he replied. Stand up. She did, dizzy. One of the men behind him handed over a clean handkerchief. The man wrapped it around Lena's bleeding palm himself, tying it with practiced precision. You skipped breakfast, he said suddenly. Lena blinked. What? And dinner last night, he added. You gave your portion to your aunt. Her breath caught. How do you? You live on Ridgeway Street, he continued, voice calm. Apartment 3B. Your aunt owes money she can't repay. The landlord has been threatening eviction. Lena stepped back, panic surging. Stop. Please stop. He didn't move closer. They won't bother you anymore, he said. Tears burned her eyes. Who are you? Kang Jae-min, he replied. The name hit the room like thunder. Even Lena knew it. The Black Crane Syndicate. The city's shadow ruler. A man people didn't speak about unless they wanted trouble. I don't understand, Lena whispered. Why are you doing this? Jae-min studied her, something unreadable flickering behind his eyes. Because you were never safe here, he said. Outside, the rain finally stopped. Come with me, he added. No, Lena said immediately. I can't. I have to work. I have to. There is no job, he said gently. And you're bleeding. I don't belong where you're going, she said, voice shaking. Jae-min leaned down, lowering his voice so only she could hear. You don't belong here either. He straightened and nodded once. The doors opened. A black SUV waited outside. Lena hesitated at the threshold, heart racing, every instinct screaming danger. Choice, Jae-min said quietly. Stay, and nothing changes. Or leave, and live. She looked back at the bakery. At the broken cup. At Mrs. Calder, silent and furious. Then she stepped forward. As the car door closed behind her, the city seemed to hold its breath. If you're already hooked into this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because what happens next will change everything. The car moved the moment Lena shut the door. The city blurred past the tinted windows, familiar streets dissolving into something distant and unreal. Lena sat stiffly in the back seat, her injured hand wrapped and resting on her lap, her heart slamming so hard she could hear it in her ears. You don't have to take me anywhere, she said, breaking the silence. I can get down here. Jae-min sat beside her, close but not touching. No, he replied simply. That's not an answer, Lena snapped, fear sharpening her voice. You can't just decide things for me. He turned his head, finally looking at her fully. I didn't decide today. Today was inevitable. That doesn't make it okay. I didn't say it did. The SUV turned off the main road, climbing toward the hills. Lena pressed her forehead against the glass, watching the city sink lower, lights flickering like stars far below. Where are you taking me? She asked quietly. To be treated, he said. Then somewhere safe. I didn't agree to that. You agreed when you stepped into the car. She clenched her jaw. I agreed because you cornered me. Jae-min's expression didn't change. No. I removed the danger. You chose not to stay in it. The gates appeared suddenly, tall iron bars sliding open in silence. The car passed through, winding along a gravel drive lined with towering trees. The house emerged slowly, massive and dark against the night sky, lights glowing behind tall windows like watchful eyes. Lena's throat tightened. This isn't a house, she whispered. It's a fortress. Yes, Jae-min said. That's the point. The car stopped. Doors opened. Guards bowed their heads as Jae-min stepped out, then turned their attention to Lena, watching her carefully but without hostility. She hesitated. Jae-min extended his hand. Not demanding. Waiting. After a beat, she took it. Inside, everything felt too quiet. The floors gleamed. The air smelled faintly of clean wood and something herbal. Lena's shoes sounded loud in the silence, every step echoing her nerves. A woman descended the staircase. She was tall, elegant, dressed in a dark silk dress, her hair pulled back perfectly. Her gaze was sharp, assessing, missing nothing. "This is her?" the woman asked. "Yes, mother," Jae-min replied. The woman's eyes swept over Lena, lingering on her bandaged hand, her worn clothes, the exhaustion she couldn't hide. "So young," the woman murmured. "And so thin." Lena straightened instinctively. "I didn't ask to be here." The woman smiled faintly. "No. You rarely do, at first." "Mother," Jae-min warned. "I'm only observing," she said calmly. "You've brought her into our home. Observation is required." Her gaze returned to Lena. "You may stay. For now." "For now." Lena echoed. The woman turned away. "Dinner will be served shortly." As she disappeared, Lena exhaled shakily. "She hates me." "She doesn't hate you," Jae-min said. "She doesn't trust anything she didn't choose. That makes two of us." He motioned down a long hallway. "The doctor is waiting." Dr. Hwan was older, with kind eyes that sharpened the moment he examined Lena's hand. He worked quickly, efficiently, cleaning and dressing the wound properly. "This cut is recent," he said. "But these," his fingers paused over faint scars along her forearm. "These are older." Lena pulled her arm back. "It's nothing." Jae-min's voice dropped. "It's not nothing." Dr. Hwan continued, professional but gentle. "You're underweight. Malnourished. When was the last time you ate a full meal?" Lena hesitated. "Yesterday. Lunch." Jae-min's jaw tightened. "She'll need rest," the doctor said. "And proper nutrition." "She'll have it," Jae-min replied. After the doctor left, silence filled the room again. "I don't need charity," Lena said suddenly. Jae-min turned toward her. "This isn't charity." "Then what is it?" He studied her, as if weighing how much truth to give. "Investment." Her chest tightened. "In what?" "In you." A maid appeared at the door. "The suite is ready." "Suite." Lena followed, too tired to argue, into a spacious room with tall windows, soft lighting, and furniture that looked too expensive to touch. Fresh clothes lay folded on the bed. "You'll stay here," Jae-min said. "Guards will be outside. They won't enter unless you call." "And if I try to leave?" He met her gaze. "You can." She blinked. "That's it?" "For now." "For now," she repeated bitterly. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "I won't lock you in, Lena. But understand something, outside these walls, the world isn't gentle. Not to people like you." "People like me?" she challenged. "Unprotected," he replied. Her voice shook. "You don't get to decide that." "I already have," he said quietly. She turned away, fighting tears. "Why me?" Silence stretched. "Because you don't break," Jae-min said finally. "Even when everything tries to." She laughed weakly. "You don't know me." "I know enough," he said. That night, Lena lay awake in the unfamiliar bed, listening to the quiet hum of the estate. She felt safe, and terrified by how quickly that safety wrapped around her. The next morning, she confronted him. "You said I could leave," she said, standing in the study doorway. "I want to see my aunt." Jae-min didn't look up from his desk. "You can't." Her pulse spiked. "You said." "She's gone," he said calmly. Lena froze. "What do you mean, gone?" "She's been relocated," he continued. "Her debts are settled. She won't contact you again." "You had no right," Lena whispered. "I had every right," he said, standing now. They were using you. She's family. She was a liability. Tears spilled over. You don't get to erase my life. I erased the parts that would have destroyed you. She shook her head. You're not saving me. You're trapping me. Jae-min stepped closer, his voice low. No. I'm giving you a choice you never had. Her breath hitched. And if I say no? His eyes darkened. Then you walk away. But without my protection. The weight of that hung heavy between them. Outside, a phone rang. Jae-min answered, his expression hardening. The Valenti circle crossed into our district, he said. I'll handle it. He looked at Lena. Stay here. She swallowed. And if you don't come back? A faint, dangerous smile touched his lips. Then you'll be free. As he turned to leave, Lena realized something that made her chest ache. She didn't want him to go. The house felt too quiet after Jae-min left. Lena sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the door long after it closed behind him. The words he'd said echoed in her head, sharp and impossible to ignore. If I don't come back, you'll be free. She didn't know why that terrified her more than anything else. Hours passed. She tried to distract herself. Paced the room, stared out the window at the guarded grounds, touched the soft fabric of the clothes laid out for her like they belonged to someone else. Every few minutes, her thoughts dragged her back to him. To the way his voice lowered when he spoke to her. To how easily he moved people like pieces on a board. Night fell. Then the sound came. A distant thud. Not loud, but heavy. Followed by another. Lena froze. She moved toward the window just as headlights swept across the trees. Cars pulled into the drive, fast and aggressive. Men stepped out. Armed. Focused. Her pulse spiked. He's back. The door opened a moment later. Jae-min stepped in, jacket gone, shirt darkened at the sleeve. Not blood, she told herself that immediately, desperately, but the metallic scent in the air said otherwise. She was on her feet before she realized she'd moved. You're hurt. He looked up, startled, like he'd forgotten she existed for a second. It's not mine. Her breath left her in a rush. You promised. I promised to come back, he said quietly. And I did. She crossed the room without thinking, stopping inches away from him. You could have died. Yes, he agreed. That's all you have to say. His gaze softened, just a fraction. You're angry. I'm scared, she shot back. You left and everything went quiet and I realized. I don't even know how to exist here without you. The words hung between them. Jae-min reached out, hesitated, then rested his hand lightly on her uninjured wrist. That wasn't my intention. It doesn't matter, she said, voice trembling. That's what's happening. He studied her, something conflicted passing through his eyes. You shouldn't attach yourself to someone like me. Then stop giving me reasons to, she snapped. Silence stretched. Finally, he spoke. The Valenti circle wanted leverage. They thought you were it. Her stomach dropped. Me? They won't try again, he said flatly. She pulled her wrist from his grasp. You keep saying that like it makes this okay. It makes it necessary. Necessary for who? She demanded. You. For you, he replied. She laughed bitterly. You don't even hear yourself. I hear everything, he said, stepping closer. Including what you're not saying. And what's that? She whispered. That you don't want to leave. Her chest tightened. I don't want to be owned. I never said I owned you. You act like you do. His voice dropped. Because the world treats you like it already does. Tears burned her eyes. Then let me go. He didn't answer immediately. When he did, his voice was quiet. Stay because you choose to. Not because you're afraid. Then give me something real, she said. Not protection. Not threats. Truth. Jaemin exhaled slowly. I noticed you 3 years ago. Her breath caught. When I was. You were standing between your aunt and 2 men who would have broken her hands, he interrupted. You were shaking. You didn't move. She remembered that night. The fear. The anger. I paid them to leave, he continued. I kept watching. Not because I wanted to, but because every time I stopped, something else came for you. That doesn't make this right, she said softly. I know, he admitted. But I don't regret it. She searched his face. Do you regret bringing me here? No. Do you regret wanting me to stay? No. The honesty in his voice scared her. And if I say I want to leave tomorrow, she asked. His jaw tightened. I'll let you. Without consequences. Without interference, he said. I won't stop you. She swallowed. And if I stay? His gaze darkened. Then you accept that my world doesn't loosen its grip. She nodded slowly. I need time. You have it. Days passed. Lena learned the rhythms of the estate. Meals at the same hours. Guards who nodded politely and never spoke unless spoken to. Madame Kong watching from a distance, saying nothing, but seeing everything. One evening, Lena finally confronted her. You think I don't belong here, Lena said quietly. Madame Kong sipped her tea. I think you are dangerous. Lena stiffened. Excuse me. You make my son hesitate, she said calmly. That has never happened. That wasn't my intention. I know, Madame Kong replied. That's why it concerns me. Lena met her gaze. I'm not trying to take his power. Madame Kong smiled faintly. Good. Because it would destroy you. That night, Lena found Jaemin in the study. I'm not a weakness, she said. He looked up. I never said you were. Your mother thinks I am. She thinks anyone I care about is. Lena hesitated. Do you care about me? Jaemin stood, closing the distance between them. Yes. The word landed heavy and undeniable. Then don't turn me into a prisoner, she whispered. He cupped her face gently, stopping just short of touching her cheek. Then don't ask me to pretend this isn't dangerous. Her voice broke. I don't know how to be safe without losing myself. He lowered his hand. Then we negotiate. Negotiate, she echoed. A contract, he said. Terms. Boundaries. Protection, for you and for me. Her heart pounded. You're serious. I don't do anything else. And if I say no? Then this ends, he said honestly. She looked at him, really looked. At the man who scared her. Who protected her. Who saw her when no one else had. I'll read it, she said finally. His eyes softened. That's all I ask. Later, alone in her room, Lena stared at the city lights in the distance. Freedom had always meant surviving another day. Now it meant choosing the cage, or walking back into the dark. If you're still watching and feeling that tension, kindly hit the like button. Lena didn't sleep that night. The contract lay untouched on the table, thick pages neatly bound, her name printed on the cover in clean black letters. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw 2 futures pulling at her from opposite sides, one uncertain and brutal, the other safe and suffocating. By morning, she was exhausted but clear. She found Jaemin in the garden just after sunrise. He stood with his jacket draped over one arm, speaking quietly to one of his men. When he saw her, he dismissed them with a single glance. You're up early, he said. So are you. I didn't sleep either. That surprised her. Why? Because I was waiting for you to decide, he replied honestly. She held up the contract. I read it. And? It protects me, she said. Financially. Legally. Physically. Yes. And it binds me to you, she added. No divorce. No disappearing. No pretending this is temporary. Yes. She exhaled slowly. You really don't do half measures. No, he said. I do permanence. Lena's fingers tightened around the pages. If I sign this, my life is no longer just mine. Jaemin stepped closer, stopping at a respectful distance. It never was. Not in the world you came from. That doesn't mean I want to give it up willingly. He nodded. Then don't. Walk away. She searched his face for manipulation. For anger. For pressure. There was none. And if I walk, she asked quietly, will you still watch me? No, he said after a beat. I'll let you go completely. The finality in his voice scared her. Say it again, she whispered. I'll let you go, he repeated. Even if it destroys me. Her chest tightened. You don't love gently. I don't know how, he admitted. Silence stretched between them, heavy but honest. Finally, Lena said, I won't be silent. He raised an eyebrow. I won't smile and obey and disappear behind you, she continued. If I stay, I speak. I question. I choose. His lips curved slightly. Good. I don't need a ghost. And I won't be used as leverage, she added. Ever again. His expression hardened. That won't happen. And if I change my mind, she pressed. If one day I decide this life is killing me. Jaemin met her gaze without flinching. Then I'll be the one it kills. She laughed softly, tears in her eyes. You're terrifying. I know. She stepped forward. Not close enough to touch, but close enough to choose. I'll sign, Lena said. But not because I'm afraid. He didn't move. Then why? Because for the first time, she said, voice shaking, someone saw me and didn't look away. Jaemin inhaled slowly, like he'd been holding his breath for years. The wedding was nothing like she imagined. There was no white fantasy. No soft romance. It was elegant, controlled, and terrifying in its scale. 300 guests. Powerful names. Dangerous eyes. Lena walked alone. No one gave her away. When she reached Jaemin, he looked at her like the world had narrowed down to one point. When he spoke, his voice was low, steady, but not emotionless. I will protect you, he said. Not because you are mine, but because you chose me. She lifted her chin. And I choose myself. A ripple of tension passed through the room. Then he smiled. The kiss was brief. Controlled. Public. But when their hands intertwined, Lena felt it, belonging, sharp and undeniable. 6 months later, the city whispered her name differently. Lena Kang. She stood at the window of the estate, watching the lights flicker below, the world moving in patterns she was only beginning to understand. Jaemin approached from behind, resting his hand at her waist. Thinking too hard again, he murmured. I was remembering the bakery, she said. The broken cup. He chuckled softly. You hated that place. I survived there, she corrected. There's a difference. And here? She turned to face him. Here, I live. His thumb brushed her knuckles. Any regrets? She thought of the cage. The power. The blood-stained protection. Then she thought of hunger. Fear. Invisibility. No, she said honestly. Only clarity. Outside, the city remained cold and dangerous. Inside, she was safe, not free, not innocent, but chosen. If you made it to the end of this story, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Tell me what you think Lena truly chose, love, power, or survival. This isn't the end. It's only the beginning.